What's good, YouTube? It's your boy NBLSEVEN coming back with another video, and this is different videos. We're checking out different things on this channel because you know we're trying to get to 1K, but we need to drop some bangers and we gotta see what y'all like to watch, what y'all like to do, because I'm not getting enough comments. But we got 8 unbelievable rappers body transformations right here, man. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up. But you already gonna like it. But let's hop right into it, man. Let's get it. Okay.
Rapper body transformations.
Clip from the last time you were here on 106. Tell us what comes across your mind when you see that.
Kids don't do drugs.
Do you want to win any of these items on your screen? If so, be sure to watch the whole video, leave a like, and comment the hidden message. And with that being said, let's get right into the video. You won't believe the transformations that these rappers have gone through. Be sure to like the video and subscribe to King Trending. Number 8, Gucci Mane.
Just doing all kind of drugs and just the whole way I was just handling myself before I went to jail was just so negative.
When it comes to controversial rappers, Gucci Mane is definitely one who is near the top of the list, mainly because a lot of his actions over his career are very questionable or downright in illegal nature. Because of this, he's gone to jail multiple times, and even when he gets out, he often got put back in not so long after. This was due in part of the fact that he was a major user of illegal substances, including lean, which messed up his head. But during a particular long stint in prison, he had to go through a massive detox. But this turned out to be a blessing in disguise, because through this detox and the fact he was able to get away from the illegal substances in prison, Gucci Mane got to get sober, really sober, to the extent that not only was he able to not want these substances anymore, but he also lost 25 pounds in the process. And since his release from prison in 2016, not only has he remained sober and healthy, and honestly hasn't come back to prison since that point, and he's living a very healthy life now, and even got married.
Oh my goodness.
It's beautiful.
Oh my God, Betty, where you at?
So it seems like things are looking very good for Gucci Mane. Number 7, Drake.
Light work.
You may not think of Drake having gone through a big physical transformation, and technically speaking he didn't, as he wasn't fat and got skinny or vice versa. But when it came to how he built his body over the course of his career, yeah, that's something that people have noticed. You see, when he started out his career, it wasn't just doing music, rather it was doing a TV show called Degrassi in Canada.
Aubrey, Melissa, how you doing? Good to see you. I guess I should call you Drake,
Yeah,
right?
no, that's all right.
That's more cool.
He played a skinny wheelchair-bound student. He got shot during one of the episodes. Anyway, he was required to be skinny for the role. And then once he started to go and do rap music, he wanted to have more of an imposing figure, and through that he started to bulk up and fast. Fast forward to now, and not only is Drake in great shape, but he's also one of the biggest rappers in the world today.
Because Drake just broke another major record. It's the most top 10s by any act in a single year ever.
Which is no small feat, I assure you. Plus, his new frame has gotten him out of some sticky situations in the past, as he's gotten into more than a few fistfights. And if he was skinny, yeah, that would not have gone well for him.
Just mad commotion. Whoever was in the middle was pretty much getting beat up. That's when a big brawl broke out. Like,
sure, he's not as swole as guys like Flo Rida, but Drake can definitely hold his own, as the ladies will likely tell you. Number 6, Eminem.
Hospital. I was close to 230 pounds. I'm not sure how I got so big, but I have ideas.
The irony of Eminem being on this list is that he's one that has gone through 2 very radical transformations in terms of weight during his career. You see, when he started out on the rap scene via the Detroit Underground Network, he was very skinny, and it was part of his trademark look aside from his very bleached blonde hair. Anyway, as he started to make it into the industry and got picked up by Dr. Dre, he continued this look, but then life got in the way. On top of all the stress he was going through via the music life, he was having issues with his girlfriend and mother of his child, as well as his own mother.
Anything. I guess I was a big thing in a relationship, but I don't know if he was a good husband or not, really.
And everybody knows in his lyrics he can cut anybody down in a second. And that's his weapon.
It was really getting to him mentally, and so he started to eat excessively. Not just food, but fast food, which you're not supposed to binge eat on, but he did anyway, and his weight started to balloon. He was even so big that he was unrecognizable by fans because they were like, Eminem ain't fat. Then after an overdose nearly taking his life, Eminem fought back to get in shape. In fact, he actually fought too hard. He would work out on a treadmill for several hours a day, which also wasn't healthy, but he needed this fuel to get better. And if you look at Eminem now, he's in a much more safer body type. He's not as thin as he used to be, but he doesn't need to be that anymore. He's at a healthy weight, and he's been sober for 10 years. So while he's had a journey with health, he's here now, and that should be appreciated. Number 5, YG.
First, you feel me? So It's underrated for sure, especially in the young generation. Like, ain't nobody trying to hear that.
While he may not have had a radical transformation in terms of body weight, he did have a radical transformation in regards to making sure he was eating right and wasn't at serious risk for cancer. You see, back in 2016, YG decided that he was going to go and adopt a vegan lifestyle in terms of eating so that his chances of getting cancer were significantly lowered. Just seeing people getting cancer and dying from it. It was my peoples who's passed from cancer. I'm asking around like, where's this cancer coming from? Everything we eat, processed food, and the stuff they put inside it. For those who don't know, vegans are not vegetarians. Rather, they're people who eat food that is 100% natural and has not been processed or added anything in it from where it was born to where it is now. That means they don't touch meat, various hybrid foods, and much more. In many ways, eating a vegan lifestyle is one of the hardest things to do, especially if you're a person who has had more of a balanced food plan for a long period of time. Many have tried to go vegan but are unable to. But for YG, him sticking to it is proof that he wants to not only be healthy, but to live a very long time. And you can't blame the guy for that. Number 4, Flo Rida. Let's begin. In many ways, Flo Rida is proof that grit and determination are the ways to get into the business that you love. Because he didn't start out by just having a hit song and getting discovered. Instead, he was hired as a hype man for 2 Live Crew, then worked his way up to the Hot Boys in 2000, and eventually made his way to Cash Money Records, then to a solo career which has lasted quite a long period of time. Since then, he's had 5 albums, multiple hit songs, and numerous appearances all over the world, and a plethora of award nominations along with a few wins. In terms of his body though, Flo Rida is known for how ripped he got, and how he's been able to stay that way basically throughout his entire career. His ripped form can be attributed to many things, not the least of which is that he sometimes likes to perform without a shirt on, and he knows that to get the woman in the audience going, it's best to have a set of muscles on your arms and a good back of abs, of which he has both. Seriously, his arms are huge, and he's definitely someone you don't want to mess with. Number 3, Logic.
I quit on October 21st, so when I dropped the album, I done with cigarettes.
Logic is definitely not your typical rapper, and he doesn't sing like most rappers do, and when it comes to a style, it's considered alternative instead of hardcore. But that hasn't stopped the Maryland-born rapper from trying to be the best rapper that he can be. That includes being a guy who can be comfortable in his own body and mind, which is appropriate because in one of his biggest hit albums, he condemns certain things that most rappers do because they feel that they must, such as drinking all the time or doing illegal substances. And while Logic actually refuses to do that kind of thing, he has never been afraid to talk about it. The worst thing that he's done in terms of his body is that he used to be a smoker, but he stopped doing that back in 2014. He smokes again now. So in many ways, Logic is one of the healthiest and cleanest rappers in the world today, which is actually pretty cool if you ask me. Why is that? Well, because many people in the rap world find themselves transformed by the culture to the extent that they may not start as someone who does drinking or hard substances at first, but eventually they'll get into it. But Logic, he's stone cold sober. No, he's high on weed. He's staying that way because he doesn't want to transform into the stereotype that the industry is raised over. And that's pretty inspiring in my book. Also, weed is not that bad. Is that the idea with the push YouTube?
Yeah.
Is that gonna work on YouTube? Number 2, Rick Ross.
Yeah.
Sources close to Rick Ross tell TMZ that he's been hooked up to a machine that's taking over the function of his heart and lungs.
It's true that Rick Ross isn't exactly the most healthy guy in the rap world, but it's also true that he is one who isn't afraid to admit that he wasn't healthy and that he needed a change in his life. You see, Rick Ross was known for his big girth, and that attribute was part of his success as both a rapper and a label producer, as it was part of his look. But then his weight quite literally turned against him because he got so heavy and unhealthy that he started to have seizures. And anyone who has had seizures in the past knows that those aren't fun to have. So he needed to lose weight and fast, and that's exactly what he did. He went on a diet of sorts and tried to live a healthier life, and as the result, he lost over 75 pounds. And he did it in the most simplest way possible. He watched what he ate and made sure he didn't do things like late night binges. Just as importantly, he had the right mindset for going on a diet. My advice for anyone looking to lose weight is to not make it feel like a job. He told Men's Health. And he's right. If you're trying to get health, you shouldn't try and feel guilty about it. You need to get healthier, and you need to dedicate yourself to the cause no matter what. And that's what Rick Ross did. And he's living healthier because of it, and he isn't having seizures anymore. So yeah, he definitely did a massive transformation worth talking about. Number 1, Common.
He's 43. He'll be 44 in March.
Wow, he looks good. Oh, by the way, he's vegan, he eats right, drinks a lot of water.
Common is one of many rappers who actually gotten out of the game. He's now an actor and an activist and sometimes a businessman. Though he still dabbles in rap from time to time, what separates his transformation from the others though is that he started to try and be healthy long before it was a major trend. Confused? Well, I'll explain. This all really started back in the 1990s when Common was still a major force on the rap scene. He decided that what he was eating wasn't exactly best for him. So over the course of a few years, he became a vegetarian. He didn't go full force like some did. He started giving up with pork, then chicken, then certain other foods, and then made his way from there. As he did this, he got more and more healthy and more lean as a result. And though many give up their diets over a period of time, Common has maintained his, and he still does it to this day, including a 100% vegetarian breakfast every morning. Common, transforming his eating habits since 1992. So there you have it. Some rappers who went through some pretty inspiring changes in terms of their look.
Hey, that was the end of the video, man. If y'all like it, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you're new. And that 1K grind giveaway. Y'all stay tuned, man. NBL7, y'all stay cool. I'm out.